test, 1, 2, 3. Barney, can you hear me? Go ahead and throw something in chat there if you can hear me. There we go. Now I see you on audio there. Welcome, welcome, Barney. Glad to see you back. Yeah, it'll give you a test, but then after the test, you have to still go ahead and select what you want your connection to be. And as long as that test screen is open, your actual audio connection to us is not active. So, but you are there now. I see the little computer sign next to you. Glad you're with us. So you are the first arrival for us today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Of course, we are at the 3 o'clock hour, so you get our undivided attention for a little while here. So I'll go ahead and, as usual, give Drew the kind of the drum roll welcoming here. We are here, of course, for Landing Pages on Fire, kind of a continuation of the earlier Business Booster, but a little bit of a different format where we can really just kind of come in, present a little bit of value for folks, a lot of value in a short amount of time, shall I say, is a better way to put it. And then, do questions and answers, do reviews of landing pages. We're really here to kind of just be responsive and just help in whatever way is the most useful for you guys out there. So Barney, you are it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to Drew as far as kind of the presentation. Full disclosure here, I'm going to be bowing out gracefully, probably in about 40 minutes today. I'm going to kind of transition from techie, Infusionsoft partner person to dad for a little bit for my daughter for something. So, but you are in absolutely outstanding, amazing hands with Drew. So he can definitely address any and all questions. But I will of course be back bright and early for our session again next week. And I know Barney, you had asked a little bit about the recordings, and that will be actually put up live. Our playlist just had a little bit of a quirk where for some reason for the plugin it wanted to have 2. So this will actually be our second recording, and then the landing page itself will host both recordings and then all future recordings going forward. So Drew, you can go ahead and pull yourself off mute there, sir. Let's shine the spotlight on you. Take it away, sir.
Awesome. Thank you, Rorik, and welcome, Barney. You're the more consistent, guest attending this. So thank you very much for attending, and I think I see Michael joining in also, so welcome, Michael. What we will do is I'll switch over to sharing my screen, and we'll jump on to our regular, I think I see Kay joining in, so welcome Kay, welcome Michael. So we have quite a bit of people joining in, which is good. So I'll share my desktop now, and we'll start the presentation. Let me know if you guys see my screen. Just give me a heads up or something. Okay, so I'll get started with the presentation. And Landing Pages on Fire. This is the second episode where we go over some of the more conversion practices on what makes the page work better and how to make it work better for your business. What we are doing today is the topic, I guess, that we are going to talk about for this week is going to be how to move or help your customer move towards, I think I have a typo over there, how to help your customer move towards your offer or offers. And this is more targeted towards an author of a book, so a little background behind it. What I'll do is I'll try to keep this presentation deck about the first 30 minutes, and then we'll go into a demo of an actual campaign for it. It will be, the background is the author of a book looking to drive visitors to the right offerings that make sense for them. They may not be aware of the author before, but have a common frustration with what they are doing, and that's what the author is solving. The goal for the author who will be having this landing page or the campaign is for the visitors that are either first visitors or someone who had done business with the author, and I think I have a typo over there in the spelling of author also. So I'll be sure to correct my typos for next webinars. So they've done some business but don't really know much about the offer. So driving, method of outreach would be driving organic traffic, paid ad, or any kind of PR release that you're doing. On the side over here, I have a little diagram that shows you in which phase of your customer purchasing cycle would you be using this landing page that I'm about to show you. It will be more on the pre-sale side of things, so not during the sale, not trying to after closing a sale. It'll be before even trying to close a sale, but how it could jump into a actual sale from just a visitor visiting your page. We will be doing the capturing of a lead then through this campaign. And again, for additional resources, this is just bringing clarity again that it's for an author who is looking to capture some leads and doing some initial offerings of their product or services. For additional resources, obviously you guys can go to sites.google.com/infusionsoft.com/campaign strategy/home, and you'll find a lot of helpful strategies to get started also. And this is more focused on the landing pages side of things, but make sure to check out the resource, and we can share the link of this resource in the chat also for you to check it out if you have not seen it before. So the next step is driving what defines success, and a lot of my slides that I will be showing is going to be a lot of repetitive stuff, meaning a lot of the things will always stay constant, mainly because a lot of new webinar attendants would be joining the webinar, and I want to make sure that the clarity of when, how, and why to use a landing page is clear across the board. So if it seems redundant, if you already know it, please bear with me. I'm trying to make sure that everybody who is a first timer or just looking to learn how landing pages work, it gets addressed to them also. So what you want to do is you want to help your visitor move towards your offer, and the best method of doing this is the best way I can explain it is how Apple does it, right? Apple really brings clarity, then they bring the credibility, and so as you can see my slide deck, you can see that as your visitors on your web page, the first thing they want to know is, I understand this, I believe this, I want this, and I can only get this from you. And that's where the exclusivity comes in, and these little yeses is what makes a bigger yes, like a loud resounding yes, that customers actually understand what you're selling. Sometimes you go to a web page and within the first 3 seconds you just leave because it doesn't make sense to you, you're not ready for it. But if you were to be ready for it, landing pages are a great way to drive very targeted traffic to that particular offer or service that you're offering. So once you have the clarity, credibility, appeal, and exclusivity, almost I need to do like the material and the mental side of things, like I need to pay this much or I need to do this much. It almost becomes irrelevant because all the other things weigh heavy on the other side of the spectrum here. And so the pro tip for this week would be to write a copy on the page that a 7th grader would comprehend. And one of the examples that I always give is something like free car wash. When you see that banner, even if you're a high school dropout or a college graduate, everybody understands the term free car wash, and it's pretty much very rudimentary. It's 7th grader level, and whenever you write any kind of copy on the page, just make sure that it's very clear and very simple that a general audience would always understand. Even I sometimes end up writing such technical language, calling items sales pages or webinar, like funnels. People in general don't understand these terms unless you are a master in marketing or what have you. So try to always keep your copy as simple on the page that everyone can comprehend. And remember, your customer is the main target that needs to understand what you're selling. So make sure that you always have a copy that your customer understands the jargon that you're using, the terminologies and everything. They are able to comprehend that. So that's a pro tip of the week. And so the template that we're going to look at today, I have it broken into two sections. The template is designed for skeptics, meaning the first-time visitors. So just know that 70% of your traffic is usually new visitors on average, unless you're running like a very targeted campaign. But if you're running ads and what have you, 70% of that traffic will give you a high bounce rate. And when I say bounce, it's like people coming to your web page and leaving immediately within the 3 seconds without clicking on anything. So the page, the way it's designed, is designed for the skeptics. It's designed for quick scan. So even if you're not interested in the product, you know what the page does. There is a clear messaging over persuasive content. So obviously you don't always want to persuade people into taking an action, and that's one of my driving philosophies that I strongly believe in, is as long as your message is clear, you don't need to persuade anybody. Now there are times where, and within this example we will actually see how you can persuade people into doing something also. So and we'll go through that really quick. And then the next one is, it drives your visitor towards your offer with those little yeses that I mentioned. So delivering content in absorbable chunks and breaking it into smaller pages essentially. And then all the pages are obviously always designed for mobile responsiveness, and that's what the landing page builder provides. And so I'll jump on to kind of looking at just a black and white wireframe of how an author of a book is offering a specific service and then driving them from one page, which is this one, onto another page, which is the actual offer page of that one particular offer. So the page could be like, you're offering 4 different items on it, and then few other items that you may also be interested in or you recognize the author with. And the main page has all sort of conversion factors. It's little conversion factors, but it makes a big difference on how the page gets created at the end. So let's have a look at the page. Now the page may look very simple, but the way it's structured, the flow of the page is designed in a way that it almost talks to a person's what they call the lizard brain, like the very yes and no kind of primal brain. So emotionally speaking first, then speaking logic afterwards. And so what I'll do is I'll stop the slide deck and I'll jump over to the page that I have designed, and I have it done in here in the the campaign builder. And Rorik, I want to have a little conversation with you before you have to jet off. Before I even show the page to the audience, what I have done is I have the one main ad page. So this is where you will be driving all your traffic to, right? And I don't know if there's a node that shows like, bring all the traffic over here, or maybe make a note. But this is the page that all the traffic will come to. And on this particular page, I have 4 different links connecting to each of the pages. And as you can see, the green box is the page that I have created, but the example kind of shows you exactly how all the pages could be done. And then from this particular offer course that the author is offering, and again, everything is fictional at this point. So the author is selling how to market on Facebook, how to dominate your Instagram, the ultimate Pinterest, Pinster course, and then LinkedIn, for partnerships and what have you. So clearly the author has knowledge in this market on how to drive traffic, how to run social media campaigns and everything. And what you want to do is, from an ad page, you want to drive your traffic to a particular course page, and you want to track where the traffic is going, what it's doing. And you can do all that with Facebook Pixel and Google Analytics and all sorts of other tracking, which the landing page builder also provides, and I'll kind of go into a detailed view of that. And from there, in here, you can offer them something for free. So maybe a first chapter of a book that you're writing, or the top 10 tips of like how to avoid these mistakes in social media. So pretty much you're taking them to an ad, have them select the right option that's right for them, and then have them, opt in for an offer, and eventually graduate them to purchasing kind of a sequence, and that's when you flag that the product was purchased or products were purchased. So let's have a look at the landing page itself. It's a very, very simple, but as you can see within the first fold, and when I say first fold, it's the width and the height and the width of the screen that the visitor first enters. And it says use influence, social influence to win more customers for your offline business. I'm here to help you, right? And it's the person Stacy Romano. She's the author and CEO of Author Brand. That's a fictional brand that we created. And notice how right where the fold is ending, it says, here's how I can help your business. And there are two little arrows that drive them exactly to the four different offerings that you may have. And again, in the landing page builder, you can change these to two offers, one offer, what have you, or even add more offers than just four offers. And each of them have their title and a little bit a button call to action that says learn more. And once you click on one of the buttons, it takes you to that. But let's just drive through the entire page. What I have done is I've used subtle colors, meaning you have this header with a white background, and then there is an off-white background that kind of draws attention to something that you want to read, right? And these are the small things that I kind of covered in those in this screenshot with a bunch of arrows and what have you, is what drives that, makes people want to move towards your offer, what have you. Underneath this, you can also have a free resource, right? So you can do monthly tips, weekly podcasts, and amazing blogs. So you can literally add 3 more pages, landing pages, to drive specific traffic to a specific page. Now imagine this as your home page or a page that you're just driving your traffic to, and then you're dispersing your traffic in the right clicks and measuring, where you're getting the most bang out of your buck. And then underneath it, it says award-winning books. So if the author has written any books in the past and what they are, so it's a little showcase of different books that are already out, published in the market or what have you. And what I'll do now is I'll jump into the actual landing page. I'll double click on it, and we'll get to the actual landing page, and everything that there is to be edited around in the landing page. I can kind of quickly show you as my page loads here. And pardon for slower internet speeds than usual. I've been having issues with my internet all day. I called Cox Communications, but they haven't resolved the issue just yet. So if the page hangs or what have you, it's most likely a slow internet issue and not like the there. Okay. So it loaded, and then because I refreshed the page, it's stuck again. Let me see if I can load it again. It seems to. See, there are no errors. So maybe we should just wait for it to completely figure itself out. So in the meantime, as you can see, that it's a very simple page. It doesn't have a whole lot of things to offer, but what it does have to offer, it clearly drives the attention to the visitors. What they need to do, what they can do, what they cannot do. And while we load, I'll show you one of the offer pages. So let's say they click on the Facebook marketing course. Once they click on it, it takes them to this particular page where it just says Facebook marketing course. It has a little background. We are bringing the face of the author back again over here, but over here we do have a video that kind of goes into that persuasion side of marketing, where videos do drive higher contents, higher traffic or higher conversions and everything. So you can have the author actually explain, or have a video that you can create. You don't have to have a video if you're selling a book. You can simply go inside the editor, remove or delete the video block, and add the ebook cover page design that you may have or something, right? So you can do that. Underneath this, same pattern. And again, the idea behind is building similar patterns with your customer within your campaign, the color theme, the patterns that you're using on the page, just so that people feel engaged and people feel connected. You don't want to create two different pages within your campaign that look completely different from one another. You want to drive the same kind of colors, the typography, certain like design patterns around them. Again, these templates are available inside the marketplace for you guys to use, and I'll show you exactly how to access these templates also inside the landing page marketplace, so that you can really dive into like these templates and start using them for your benefits. Over here it says, here's what you will get. So you get, the funnel your market, draft the right message, build a strong following, and build audience and build, I guess, influence and referrals. I'm reading too fast for myself at the moment, so I apologize for that. And then underneath it, there is a breaker, what we call is a pattern interrupt, where everything could be plain white, Jane kind of thing on the page, and then you have this something that bam sticks out a little bit. So over here it just says, a free chapter download. So before you make a purchasing decision, try out this free chapter. So you can have them put their email address in, and they can click on the download free chapter. And I'll actually show you what the free chapter also looks like. But right underneath the form, we have, what people said about this course kind of thing, and then you have a bunch of testimonials. So this is going back into those repeating patterns of little yeses that I mentioned right over here. It's like, I understand this, I believe this, right? And I want it, and I can only get this from you, kind of scenario. So, these guys have had success, they've used the product, they love it. And then again, if you're still not convinced, you can get to the free resources, and it's written in big letters that says free resources, just so that, if the people are not ready to make a purchasing decision or anything, you can do that right over here with these, little offers. And again, it ends with some of the more award-winning books and what have you that are on the page. And then if I just go to /thank-you .html, that is the thank you page that is designed for this. There, okay. So over here again, it says thank you for downloading the free chapter. I've emailed you a link to download, just in case you need to download it again. But you can download the chapter over here again. Now you want to link this download button to a PDF that you may have uploaded to your Dropbox or Google Drive or what have you. We don't have a direct mechanism inside the landing page builder just yet where you can upload your content, but you can always link it to a third-party solution that offers a hosting of digital assets of sorts, like PDF files or zip documents or what have you. But underneath this, the purpose behind this is having a video next on a thank you page that also starts playing, and it tells them thank you for downloading this book, but as part of this download I also have a special offer. So this is where you can actually make a sale for the same exact chapter that you're doing, or another book that you may have that you want to sell also. So it's a thank you page, but it also has an upsell opportunity where you can buy something with a 10% off, and this is only exclusive to this particular download. So you got the free download, now I'm giving you something better. So again, going back to that little small yeses to get them to that point where they may just be ready to purchase the offer that you have to book or what have you that you're offering. They may just be inclined to just purchasing it just because now they're at a point that they have built trust with you, they have given their email address to you, right? They have downloaded something free from you, and because it's an exclusive offer part of this, it might just allow them to make a decision for themselves that they can just click on the button and take advantage of the special offer that you're offering. Now going back to this is where, oh, there, page finally loaded. So we are in the green over here. And so right over here, what I wanted to show you is like how the page is kind of designed in little blocks. By the way, do you guys
Drew, looks like you've muted yourself. There you go.
Hi, Joe.
Oh, okay. You can hear me now,
Yep,
right?
sure can.
Okay, perfect. All right, so, okay, yeah, there is a little mute button right next to my sharing of the screen. But, okay, so chat looks good. I don't think anybody has any questions thus far. Everybody's engaged into it, and welcome any new participants that just joined. Yeah, I think we have somebody calling in, so that's good. Awesome. Thank you, Michael. And so, within this page builder, the way this page is designed is you click on a section, you can name the section, you can even create, background images. Over here on the button is where I can, link my second page. So let's say if I created this page, I can quickly copy and paste the link of this right over here. Just like that, I can choose it to open it in the current window, which is fine. The button says learn more, or we can say like, start whatever call to action you want to make. You can do that. The blocks are all put together in sections. You can click on the section and you can go to the row or, the second row and manage your columns. You can change the width of, the columns on both mobile and desktop. So I can make something long and short as I want. If I keep it at 0, it always keeps the width of items the same width as you would expect. And then within that we have these offers. So within these you can also link these icons. You can click on the icon and you can change the icon. We have over 1,400 icons to pick from, and and not only the material design but the font awesome icons, and also the themified, the very thin, more modern looking icons also. And that's how I actually used all these are icons. So you can just click and replace it with what you have. You can even add your own image into the page. Idea behind the entire page is to keep it very, very simple, very, very targeted, to drive traffic and not ask for any immediate commitment, but have them build trust with you before they do any business. Again, this page works for a very specific type of campaign that you're running in your customer journey. This is all about pre-sale. This is all about capturing that first lead, but building that trust with that first lead before you actually make them do any purchasing decisions. So again, so that's how these templates are done. What I will do is I will show you how you can access these templates. Before I do that, I'll actually go in. I have special admin rights just because I am, quote unquote special for creating the landing page tool. I get access of admin rights. So any template that I create, I can make it into a globally accessible template inside the marketplace. Now this screen always holds off on me. I think it's because of my slow internet, where it's not loading immediately. Okay, there it loaded. I will just launch this, and I will make sure that in my admin tab I can make it inside the marketplace, and I can call it like a ebook lead generation, and just adding some categories, or a pre-order kind of thing. So within those categories inside the landing page builder, we will have these templates available for you guys. Just wanted to make sure that it was in the template marketplace. So now when you go back to your campaign builder, and I'll pick the second template right over here, which I have not done anything to, so jump right into the landing page marketplace where you can pick your templates. And if we were to click on one of these categories over here, by the way, we've made it so more templates load as you scroll. There, I think it's still loading new templates, but we add templates in here all the time. The more scenarios we see customers using and wanting to use, we try to make it easier and simpler for them by providing, and there's your Facebook marketing offer kind of a template that's available over here, right? So I can just use this as a template. You can always, once you create the template, you can go to your templates area, and all the templates that you have created or any page that you have created automatically does become a template. So you can pick from one of your pre-created pages just to build your consistent theming for branding or what have you. But as you can see, I can just take that one Facebook template, which was right over here, and I can now call it Instagram. What was the name of it? Dominate your Instagram, right? So I can literally go over here. Once this gets loading, I can say use this template. I can click on, and Rorik, I think it's anytime if you want to leave. I think I'm good. I had some questions about the campaign builder, but I don't think I have them at the moment. But if I do, we'll carry the conversation over often, and then I'll bring those back to you again also.
That sounds great. I'll go ahead and leave them in your capable hands in that case, sir.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Yeah. And dominate Instagram. Instagram. If I can spell sometimes. Okay, just says dominate your Instagram. So I'll just call it, the typography you can pick over here. The logo, you can just upload your own logo. And once you click on next, I think the background that I used was a more of a Facebookish background. So I can click on, that. I can go to background color. I can replace it. And I can click on this image gallery where we have, I think, over 500,000 or more royalty-free images for you to use. So I'll just search for Instagram, and let's see if we can find something. Yeah, sure enough. So, we have some really cool Instagram images. I think this one might look nice. This one looks good too. So maybe this one. Yeah, so I'll just use that one. And there you have it. So you have a nice, and then you can just change the copy in here to your, Instagram, and I'm having a hard time typing today, but and any image you can click on, and as you can see, the image is square, but we have this styling option where you can make the image rounded, no styling at all, or you can make it circular, and all it does is it adds that filter. So a lot of the things that you needed Photoshop before could be just achieved in the landing page builder. All I have done over here to create this look is I created a row. So we'll go in section 3. I've created a row, and then the row has 3 columns. And then in the first column, it's just the image. And I just found this image on, I believe it's called iconfinder.com, where you can find a lot of free icons and a lot of free images that we may not have. But they have, as you can see in the tab right over here, 2.4 million plus free and premium vector icons and what have you that they have available. And you can just click over here, and I can just say arrows, right, and hit enter, and you can buy some really cheap icons or what have you for your business. The ones that are marked with these hash lines, I don't know if you can see them, but they're only like a couple bucks. Some of them are $1. But if you click on this free right over here, it will show all the arrows that are available for you to purchase, download for free. And it, allows you to have the SVG version, the PNG version, and all sorts of other versions of images for, whatever purpose you may have for creating the page or the graphics that you're creating or what have you. So here's your free resource to getting even more imagery for your business, on top of the ones that are part of the landing page builder. So right over here we have this dominate your Instagram, and then in here you can click on each of these icons and change it a little bit. These fonts, obviously you can add any tags that you want, so you can call it like the Instagram. If you don't have the tags, oops, I think I clicked it a little too quick. You can create a new tag on the fly, so you can call it, interested in Instagram, Instagram chapter or something, and I can just quickly create, specific tags for specific kind of scenarios that I'm doing, just to run any kind of automation later down the road or something. So the way I created my campaign in the campaign builder, that may be something very different for what you're doing. In the form redirect, we can again pick like a thank you page, so design a thank you page option, which adds a new tab for us at the bottom. And then if I go to the next step, you can find the entire page that we had already designed, and again in here you can just click over here and change your graphics, change the pricing on the button, you can name it whatever, and what have you, whatever the offer or whatever the copy you want to keep. But the whole idea was to make the process of converting a visitor into a fully paying customer with small steps, small pages, rather than having a long sales copy is possible, and this is how you can do it. This is a really good way to test out what's working, what's not working, and it doesn't cost you anything because it's part of Infusionsoft. It's part of what you are already doing with your business. So the only thing you would be spending is like maybe some money on the on running ads or to drive traffic. And if you're doing a PR release or something, then there might be a different cost associated. But it easily allows you to create pages the way you imagine them. And because this page is not live, I'll click on go live, and it'll make even the Instagram page available and live. If you ever see this error that says request code did not work or what have you, or the 500 error, don't worry about it. The page, if I go to it, it still works. The issue, I think, started occurring because of the new GDPR compliance thing, and it has nothing to do with the landing page. As you can see, the Instagram page with the Instagram background that we just created is live. So if you ever run into that 500 error, you can just disregard it and just go to the URL. If you see that message keep reoccurring, just refresh the page, and once you refresh it, it will go away also. So just a little quick tip that I have noticed, in my experience, that people get stuck there and then they don't know what to do, that they're getting the 500 error. But if you do, refreshing of the page, it should just all work fine. Again, I think my page is stuck on this. I'm guessing it's an internet issue. Hopefully, okay, there it is. And if you click on republish now, it should just work. So, it's giving me the error again. But as you can see, the page was live. So it's something that we'll look into, and we'll get it fixed by tonight or something. So not a big deal, but have a look at it. Speaking of running ads and tracking them, you can always drop your code over here. I do run a YouTube channel, which I would be happy to share the URL of it in our chat, so you guys can check it out. Feel free to subscribe to this. This chat helps. This YouTube channel has all sorts of videos, tips, and tricks. On there, I even have a lot of like a playlist, and how to create this kind of a page, or how to create pop-ups or a countdown timer, or how to pass information from one page to the other. I do also very simple tricks or very advanced tricks on a constant basis as I hear customers requesting different items. Once you click on the videos, you'll get to see all the videos that I have uploaded on our channel. So with that said, I kind of wanted to spend the last maybe 15 to 20 minutes asking questions from the audience members over here. If they have any specific questions or what have you, I'd be happy to respond to those. We can turn this into a live chat. I can maybe unmute you guys if you're interested, and we can have a live verbal communication, or you can always use the chat and ask away any questions that you have. Whether it's a frustration or what have you, I'm happy to hear any compliments, comments. I'd be more than happy to hear. Let me know what you think of the format. We were also considering switching over to having expert reviews of the pages that you have created for your business, and understand where in the life cycle the page resides and how we can help you improve it, whether it's a copy on the page, whether it's the design of the page. I'd be more than happy to do all those things with you guys also. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand in the chat. I have the chat window open. I'd be more than happy to respond to any questions you may have. If you want to have a phone conference, we do have about 15 minutes in this webinar that we can use to maybe have a verbal communication also. So let me know. Okay, I have Michael, and he has raised his hand, so I'll unmute you, Michael. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hi, Drew. Thanks for taking the time to share all this with us today. It's really so useful. I had to turn away from a second. Were all those icons? You went from showing icons to showing the place, a website for icons. Could you tell me the URL for that place again? And then the first round of icons are built into Infusionsoft. Is that right?
That is correct. So what we have is we have a library of icons that are kind of open source, if I may, right? Meaning we don't have to pay for the licensing of these icons.
Sure.
And hopefully you're still looking at my screen.
I am.
So when I click on this, it brings me to this library of icons. So these are all the Android icons.
Got it.
Meaning any Android device.
By hitting replace icon, that opens up the library. Is that what happens?
Yes, that is correct. And then the other website that I was sharing was called Icon Finder, and I'll paste the link of this in our chat also. Yeah. So there you have it, and there's the Icon Finder link there. Okay. And so on this website, there are more images. It's not only icons, but they also have images that we may not have that you are looking for, something that's very specific. So that's what Icon Finder is useful for, to find some of the free resources. Like as you can see, I'm scrolling down on their website, and they have like these really set of beautiful, genetic and inheritance kind of icons for $10. So very nominal cost for something you're doing, and you can use these as images on our landing page builder. You won't be able to use them as an icon, but if I delete this, for example, I can then find the image element. I can drag and drop it right here, right above in this box. So now I have a place, and I can now upload any image that I want. So if I were to download any image from here, I can just upload it as an image in here, and it would just appear. In fact, I'll just so I have reference. I'll just select it from my computer, and I have a lot of stock images, but in there I have icons. So I can add, like, let's say I want to use this cloud icon that I purchased this from Icon Finder in the past, or like a note icon. So I can do something like this, and it just uploads it, and then it'll just show up over here, and there it is. So literally I can change the look of my page as I want, with more icons than what we are offering for you for free. And these are like professionals designing these icons. So.
Oh yeah, that's a great resource. Finding the right icons is a nightmare. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Drew, do you know this is all excellent once we have run a nice ad on Facebook. Is there any best practices about the actual ads on Facebook, or is it's been a while since I spent any serious money on Facebook, and I'm wondering if there are resources for that, or that's kind of a separate thing.
That's a really good question, Michael, and I may just do a webinar just on, running proper Facebook ads or something if people are interested in. But I'll give you a quick skinny on it, like, how I would qualify running a cost for ads on Facebook, right? You know how in here I kind of broke down categories of pre-sale, during sale, and a post-sale kind of scenario, right? So what you want to do is you want to break your customers into different segments first, okay? So what you want to do is people who have never done business with you, for example, or people who are not ready to make a purchase, but they're looking for information, right? That's like the number one crowd that you always end up gathering. Then you want to run the Facebook retargeting campaigns, meaning once they have visited your page once, you can run that pixel on them that, anytime you can run the follow-up ads essentially to them. So now you have them in your footstep, like, they got their footstep, foot in the door kind of thing, and now you want to run very targeted ad on them. The way I justify the cost for running an ad, whether on Facebook, whether on Google, or whichever media, even YouTube is a really good place to run ads depending on what the business does or what have you. But the way I justify the cost of running ads is, let's say if I were to make 5 sales, okay, from running these ads, what would that cost be, right? So let's say if I'm selling something that's an ebook, and the ebook's value is maybe $30 or something, right? So if I were to spend, or if I were to sell 5 ebooks, that's 3 times 5 is what, 150, right? Am I doing the math right? Yeah. So $150, if I can run an ad for $150, meaning like, a penny here, 10 cents here, 15 cents here, breaking it into very targeted customers, obviously, and Facebook and Google and all them, they allow you to really target down, your target market. So what I would do is run an ad for a certain amount for a certain period of time. So let's say I want to run it for a month or for 3 weeks, or within a week I want to sell 5 books, whatever that I'm selling. I would run $150 worth of ads, break it down, and then keep measuring. So even in the smaller increments, right? So if I run like the first, $20 worth of ads, and I'm getting clicks, but I'm not getting any conversion. So I get people coming to the page, but then the people are not really buying into it. Now again, 20 clicks doesn't really justify anything. You need like at least a good few hundred clicks coming in to really justify. But just hear me out as an example is you're getting these clicks, but you're not getting any conversions. At that point is where you want to kind of change up the language or the copy or the design of the landing page. The first thing I would ask you to change before changing any design is the text that you have on the page, because believe it or not, having done conversion optimization and running campaigns through landing pages for the last 14 or 15 years, the number one thing that actually works is the copy on the page and not the design. You can make something look really, really fancy. A terrible example, but you can go to Hooters and have terrible food, or you can go to Olive Garden or something and have a lot better tasting food, But the appeal, the visual appeal sometimes is not what drives, it's what the messaging that you have, on the page that actually drives the what do you call conversions for your business. So thank you, Barney. I think Barney has to leave. He said he has to run. So thank you for attending, Barney. We'll see you next Thursday or so. Any other question that you have, Michael?
No, that's really useful. I have to say the landing pages are a huge improvement for Infusionsoft. I'm so happy to no longer have to have lead pages and something else and something else. Just
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, and we are constantly working on improving the product. I know that there are always some shortcomings as you try to build something or break something, right? And so we understand that, not everything is, always shiny and pretty, but we are always constantly listening to our customers. Michael, you or anybody who's on the webinar or watching the recording of the webinar, feel free, anytime you are stuck somewhere or don't know anything, click on this help button. We try to always respond immediately or within, at the most 24 hours you will hear something back from us, unless it's like a weekend or something or a long holiday and none of us is really available, but we do our best, to respond back right away. The messaging app is attached to our mobile devices also, so unless we are on a mute or something, we do get messages right on the phone, so
Wow.
we're able to help a lot quicker. So
Okay.
yeah. So, so the page builder allows you to create, and we have a lot of pre-made kind of blocks that are ready. So, for example, on this page, you want to add more testimonials or something, you can just click on Add section, and then if you go to Filter by, and you have all these like forms or features. And when I click on features, you can see all these different blocks that are ready, and all I have to do is click, and it becomes available on my page. And then I can use the manage layout, and I can kind of reorder it, so I can move it above my footer or something, right? And I can even name my footer. So if I click over here, it allows me to just name it. So I call it footer. And now if I click on manage layout, it'll be called footer right over here. So you can organize content on your page. You can reorganize if your ad's not driving your results. Maybe rearrange something. Feel free to change things around within your page, but it doesn't have to be a frustrating experience trying to create these pages. So we are always striving, and we've had some customers. No matter how easy we feel the product is, not all customers always, find it as intuitive. So we are always striving to make it, 10 steps simpler for somebody to understand how the builder works. I definitely encourage people to check out a lot of the videos that I have done. In fact, what I have done with one of my latest playlists is I broke it down how to create a landing page. I'll mute myself here on YouTube, but I have broken how you can create a page from complete scratch from just a design, or let's say you saw one of your competitors' web page and you want to replicate it exactly like that, but use your messaging or your offerings kind of thing. You can literally look at this design on the side, and step by step in small short videos I show you exactly how each of those blocks were created. So if you feel creative and want to kind of see how that could be done inside the landing page builder, a great resource at no cost for you guys to just check it out and play around with the page builder a little bit more.
Perfect. Oh, this is great. There's even more to this than I had known. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did share the links in the chat, so feel free to click on them.
Yep.
I see somebody on the call. Also, I think they just dropped off the call, so I'm guessing that they also needed to leave. I think it's close to 4 o'clock, coming to an end. Do you have any other questions for me, Michael?
No, thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and if I'd love it if you did a webinar at some point. My on Facebook advertising. My Facebook ads have been more geographically based, and I'd love to really have a good handle on, how to go after solar installers. Just how to reach after specific business owners across the whole country for a niche. So that's kind of on my learning palette. So if you're ever wondering what would be useful in Facebook ads, I'd sign up for that and listen to the replay too. So
Awesome. So that gives me a good idea. So perhaps, and if you're willing to join the next webinar or not next Wednesday, what I can do, Michael, is we'll shift focus from landing pages a little bit, and we can focus a little bit on building a buyer persona. And we can kind of identify who your target customer is, what are the hot buttons for them, how to really create a copy for a very targeted market that you're going after or something, right? And then what we can do is, based on the persona that we created, we can create marketing messages for these, like, so we can find 5 different identifiers or 5 different people that you may want to, make them your target market within the solar kind of a business. I'll come up with some fictional, or maybe if I have your permission, I may just use your business as a real-time example. And what we can do is we can make it a more collaborative effort where we can do back and forth, understand who the audience is and who the 5 types of audiences within that market are. And then we can really create a copy that could work not only as a copy on the page, but also a starter copy for running your ads. And that might also help you understand, the grand scheme of things on how, if you get that base, that core done properly, I think there's a lot more to explore and everything underneath that kind of building structures. So.
Sure, I'd love to do that, and if you'd like me to send you, what I think the target is in advance, I'd be super happy to do that if you like.
Yeah, so why don't you, in the chat, give me your email address, and what I'll do is I'll reach out to you, and then we can continue the conversation offline. And I think that would be really great, that if I can help like maybe 1 or 2 even customers identify their target market, it'd be really great that we can, continue on that kind of pattern over here and do some weekly webinars, just helping somebody just identify and create a very targeted design for their business.
Sure, that'd be great, and probably be a good resource for the community. I mean, I want to target solar installers in the United States, but there are 9,500 of them, and I only need 500 for a customer. That leaves 9,000 for others. So
yeah, exactly. And so, the more narrower you go, the better you can create your target market. And I've understood that. I've learned it very hard way, but it doesn't have to be hard for everybody, So,
yeah, that's great.
But it looks like we are coming to an end of our 4 o'clock, in Arizona time at least,
Yes.
4 o'clock or 7 o'clock Eastern. So, thank you for your time, and everybody who is watching the webinar. We look forward to seeing you guys again, and bring any problem, any solution that you guys may have found, anything, to the webinar. We'd be happy to have an open conversation. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Barney. And I think Kay joined, and a few other people that joined. Thank you very much. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Great. I dropped my email in the chat, so I look forward to it. Thanks for your time. See you next week.
Awesome. Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Bye.